Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro. It's time to do craft categories predictions. Now, before we get into it, do we have any changes to the above the line categories? Do we have any changes now?
Deliver Me From Nowhere, no nominations. That's my change.
Right, because we had him in Best Actor at number 5. I did add on a little tack at the end of the video, so we were considering doing an Alan White and Michael B. Jordan swap. That has commenced.
Yeah,
that has commenced.
We commenced it.
I see a lot of people taking out Jeremy Allen White because that movie just seems dead, doesn't it?
I think people just don't care enough. I think people would have to be like screaming about the performance given that they don't love the movie overall. And I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing that people feel like it's a flop. The box office was pretty poor for this kind of movie. It really should have done better. And other than that, like Jeremy Strong definitely does not come along.
Frankenstein, the audience scores have been great. The critical reception has only gone up. We were kind of hesitant about having it in our 10 last video, but now I'm pretty confident. Like, audiences love Frankenstein. It's a wondrous spectacle of a movie.
I have a question mark about Jay Kelly, and I think the next in line is Train Dreams. I think House of Dynamite is kind of dead.
House of Dynamite's pretty goddamn dead.
I think Train Dreams is above House of Dynamite. As I could see that getting in over, I could see House of Dynamite.
I agree with that, even though I don't think Train Dreams will get in. Wicked for Good. The first reactions are out. Of course, they're very curated. Like, they invited the right people they knew would get a good reaction, pretty much. It's very much like the first movie. And people are really enthusiastic. And even though those were also curated first reactions, they were pretty indicative that people loved the movie. And I think we're in for Wicked. Like, I think it's happening.
Yeah.
And I am more convinced that Ariana Grande is winning.
Yep. It seems like people are saying, hey, this could easily be her moment to win. And like we were saying, there's not really any secure challenger in this field.
I mean, I was trying to brainstorm a lot about it, and I know some people were like, just fucking accept that it's Ariana Grande. And look, I guess I have. For the time being, I guess I have. Begonia has actually pretty good audience scores. But I'm still on the fence about Begonia.
I think it gets into Critics' Choice Picture. I think it might get PGA, might get BAFTA shortlisted for the top 10, might get Golden Globe drama nomination. Like, it really might get a lot of precursor nominations and then come up just short of the Oscar nomination, or not. Maybe it just slips in there for Best Picture.
I mean, I'm scared that SAG gives it nothing. I think that would be the real sign of it slipping. Like, because Plemons and Stone are getting so much buzz.
I don't think it would miss at SAG.
If it got PGA and Emma Stone got in at SAG and it got Critics' Choice and Golden Globe and BAFTA 10, you'd have to have it in for picture. I think that it does have a chance at missing at SAG, at missing at PGA.
I think it kind of depends on whether Jesse Plemons is strong, because I see him as being below Emma Stone in his chances. So if he was getting a lot of nominations, at major nominations, I would be thinking Begonia was pretty strong.
But what if Jesse Plemons is like a Paul Mescal after Sun, he actually does get in without the movie? I feel like
without the movie,
I think he's so good that he could surprise maybe.
I think that category is a little too stacked.
You could say it's stacked, but Ethan Hawke and Blue Moon and Wagner Moura, they are maybe not in Best Picture movies.
I think they're going to be fine.
Although Secret Agent,
I'm really looking out that Secret Agent might be the Best Picture.
I mean, at this point, I'm almost like agnostic about whether or not No Other Choice or Secret Agent is the number 3, because there are a lot of indicators that Neon believes that actually Secret Agent is the number 3 to push.
Neon does believe that it is above No Other Choice as their prospect, and I think they're looking at it similarly to I'm Still Here, in that they're going to get Wagner Moura nominated, and that is going to bring the film into Best Picture.
No Other Choice being a number 10 for me is still kind of there as a I don't really know what to do, so I'm going to slightly hope dict here. That movie has a late release, so I guess it would have to really surge at the last minute.
That's what I've been saying. The only thing that could help No Other Choice is people see it and they're obsessed. They need to obsess.
You should see the Letterboxd. It's not out. It's only getting better.
I'm telling you, though, it's not out yet, and that's the problem. It's releasing so late.
Oh my goodness. There's usually one movie that surges at the last minute.
Like what?
I'm Still Here, Phantom Thread, American Sniper, Judas and the Black Messiah.
That's true.
It happens a lot that there's a movie that surges at the last minute. No, Zone of Interest did really well, like BAFTA, Oscar, right into those two.
That's good. It's good reason to keep it in.
I'm saying that's a possibility.
Well, you know what's amazing? I really feel like Neon has 4 prospects now. I do believe that film and No Other Choice are pretty tied for what their chances are. One of them has the Best Actor prospect. The other one has that International People's Choice Award.
And a screenplay prospect.
And so... Which, I mean, no, The Secret Agent, to be fair, could get nominated in original.
It could, because that category is not anything. There's a 5th slot for that movie. There is, I would say.
Did I mention that I saw The Secret Agent since the last video? I've seen it twice now since Cannes, and I really loved it the second time I saw it. It did take me 2 tries to really love it and get completely immersed in it, but I really do believe that's one of the best films of the year.
Song Sung Blue, not a Best Picture prospect. Kate Hudson's not winning. It's not getting a screenplay nomination. I'm not saying any of that. I do still have her at number 5. People think I'm insane. When the reactions came out for this and people were like, this is Kate Hudson's best performance since Almost Famous, she's the real deal, it would make sense for her to have Oscar buzz, even though I didn't like the movie. I was like, all right, I feel pretty justified having her at number 5. Seems like the doubters are still doubting. And I guess that's fine. Like, the movie is not really up for any other nomination, so it makes sense to doubt it. And there are other movies that we're doubting that are, and it's because they're not up for that many other nominations, like Rose Byrne and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. But my thing with this is that it just is the type of performance that is very much bait, and there's a career narrative there in a way that perhaps Best Actress is lacking. There's usually a little bit of royalty, a little Hollywood royalty in these categories, which is why I feel like in supporting actress, it could either be Gwyneth Paltrow or Amy Madigan. If you want to say that Amy Madigan's royalty, I'm not sure. And then in lead actress, you have a lot of young actresses, but then Kate Hudson has the most like long-standing nomination there. So if you just think it's going to be like Rose Byrne and Emma Stone and all these people who are like 30 years old, like that would be kind of unusual.
That is what the Critics' Choice are going to do.
I know.
And they are going to nominate Emma Stone, Rose Byrne,
and Chase Infinity.
Chase Infinity and Amanda Seyfried.
No, that's impossible.
Oh.
Unless they have 7.
Oh. Annette Bening getting in for Naiad, for example. That didn't happen at
You
Critics'
denied
Choice.
that. You did.
We denied it.
I did too. Okay, we all denied it. We all had covers.
All she needs is either a SAG or a BAFTA nomination, and she is very much a prospect.
Well, for SAG mainly.
But I get that, like, at the point when the Critics' Choice nominations hit in early December, it's not going to be obvious that it's happening. Like, I don't think at that point it's going to be a lock. But I do think as the film comes out and
if it does well,
Focus Features tries to drum up that hype,
if it does well,
has the potential for her to get in, because that career narrative is really strong, and people are saying this is like a slam dunk performance for her. I get that it's like a fake movie, but it's funny because people are saying, oh, that's a fake movie, like how September 5 is a fake movie. That got an Oscar nomination in a major category. So
it was pretty close to Best Picture.
It may have been fake. In the end, it got a PGA, and it did decently. Like, I get that we might just be like, oh yeah, nobody cared about that film and it just didn't matter, it didn't happen. But
it is the palatable mom movie, and I feel like if that premiered at TIFF, people would think that it was a more serious and real thing. We'll see how it does at the box office. I think that's going to be really important because again, it's coming out in December.
And it's also allegedly a crowd pleaser, and it puts you through the ringer.
Do I care that it has a 50 sling on Metacritic? First of all, it has four of those reviews are positive, and one of them is like a D-, so it's really weighing it down.
Yeah.
Second of all, Tammy Faye had a 50-something. Yeah. Other movies have gotten in with 50-somethings. Yeah, it's okay, guys. You can do it. It happens.
Yeah, it's possible
for like one movie every year somewhere. All right, so it's not insane. I put Is This Thing On an original screenplay because I felt like House of Dynamite's a nothing burger.
That's just not happening, is it?
Oh, why couldn't it?
Is anyone going to care about that film?
They might. It's Bradley Cooper directing. If there's
kind of. I have to really squint to see that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if it's not Weapons or Secret Agent, or Jay Kelly, then what is it? I was also thinking, Critics' Choice, nominate Sorry Baby in original screenplay, you cowards. I actually think they can do it, and they might do it, but if they don't do it, Jesus Christ.
They're not going to do it.
Anyway, let's go on to the new categories we haven't discussed. Best Casting. I know a lot of people think Sinners is winning this. One Battle, to me, that's the ensemble that like everyone's talking about this year. Sinners, it was it for a while. One Battle's winning. It's getting maybe 4 nominations. It's in the conversation for 6 acting awards. I think it's going to win SAG Ensemble. I think it's going to win casting. That's just what I think. It has Hollywood legends. It has newcomers.
Yeah.
I think that's great for the casting category. The fact that you have Chase Infinity here. Of course, Sinners does have Miles Caton, also a newcomer find.
Other than One Battle, you've got Sinners, you've got Wicked. I think those are really strong in this category.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people are like, oh, I don't know if Wicked will get in because they cast for the first movie, but they are the casting directors on both movies. They didn't get to nominate the first movie. If Wicked is very strong in Best Picture, and it probably will be pretty strong, it might get a lot of nominations, then why not? Why not casting? I think it's fine. Hamnet, I have at number 3. That is one where, maybe it doesn't get ensemble because it doesn't have all a stacked cast, but like the BAFTA casting category, we see that casting can sometimes go to movies with less quantity of performances. Like The Joker or The Two Popes.
I guess.
The Apprentice got a casting nomination.
Yeah, but that's because you're casting real life roles.
Oh, interesting.
And that didn't really, what?
What do you mean it didn't happen?
No one knows what Shakespeare sounded or even looked like.
I'm just saying that you cast William Shakespeare and you cast his wife as Jessie Buckley, and those were two performances that are getting nominated, and one of them's winning.
As a casting director, aren't you saying like, all right, well, there's mainly two roles here that you care about? I don't know. They just casted like some really good actors. I'm not sure it feels like, oh, you cast like the right person to play.
It's like based on a book. It's based on like a source material.
I think that does not matter for this film. I think that does not matter.
How about
you
this?
saying they're casting real life people to play Shakespeare is ridiculous. That argument cannot apply.
What are you talking about?
It cannot apply. Like, oh my god, he's just a spitting image of Shakespeare. Like that would never.
I don't care about this.
You can't
splitting
say that.
image. I care that he's playing Shakespeare. That's something. It just is something.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is. Hamlet's number 2 for Best Picture. It's just
probably
it
true.
just can show up in all these categories. At the end of the day, the casting category is probably just going to be a lot of people's favorite movies, isn't it? When BAFTA does it, they always go with someone who's like winning an Oscar.
Okay.
Jessie Buckley in the lead role. Excellent. And you have a kid. They found a kid who was a fucking amazing actor. And they cast his brother as the older Hamlet on stage. And that's kind of an interesting choice as well.
You convinced me based on the fact that Hamlet is so strong, and then it's winning an acting Oscar.
I'm also just trying to tell you
have
that
not convinced me based on like, oh, well, it's this kind of casting. Like, it just,
For the last slots, I'm between Marty Supreme and Sentimental Value. Sentimental Value will have probably 3 to 4 acting nominations. Stellan Skarsgård in contention to win. And you have talents from America and talents from Norway.
I don't know if Sentimental Value feels like it's actually going to happen in this category.
It kind of does.
Unfortunately.
It has 4 fantastic performances.
I agree, but isn't it the kind of thing that SAG is not going to nominate?
It also might be top 5. Yeah, but SAG doesn't like foreign movies in general. Inga's a newcomer. I think they'll like newcomers.
I hope so.
And Elle Fanning is pulling her from America. Skarsgård, the legend. Reinsva, the classic.
Sure. I want to believe it's going to happen, but you don't have it in, do you?
I have it at number 6. But I'm thinking about it. I could switch it right now. I mean, I have Marty Supreme
for
at 5.
Marty. I would not swap it for Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme, I believe, is very strong for casting. Putting the Kevin O'Leary nonsense aside, and how he's just like a silly billionaire.
Which is a good casting choice.
In a way, like, you can't argue that it's a bad casting choice because of that. The way the Safdies cast is very unique. They're a combination of, like, actors you'd never expect to be in movies at all. Still killing it in films. Honestly, I don't think Kevin O'Leary is like the best example of it, but he's good enough. Putting Tyler the Creator in a role here and him being really good. Having Timothée Chalamet delivering his best performance.
An Oscar-winning role, perhaps.
Yeah.
Odessa
I think that's
Zion
absolutely happening.
An excellent find. And then Gwyneth Paltrow is a Hollywood royalty.
Also, the number of extras in this film is absolute madness.
The extra casting is its own story, man. One battle after another also has brilliant extra casting. If you care about how well-known in the industry people are in the casting department, the casting director of the Safdie films pretty much works like mostly with them. Apparently she did Begonia this year. And then the Sentimental Value has one from Norway, one from America. The one from America is pretty well known, actually. So Sentimental Value would maybe win on that front. But I agree. I don't think it has to be that way. I don't think it's necessarily that way. I think if, a new costume designer does a big costume drama, they'll get nominated. So I do have Marty Supreme in. I think there's a lot of interesting casting choices there.
I will say, if Jay Kelly is an Oscar contender, I think that would probably get nominated. That film is like fun because of how many people come in and out of it, how many fun supporting roles there are from well-known celebrities. Now, Frankenstein I am considering here because that really has ascended to locked in Best Picture status, and for very good reason. Like, there's just too much going in its favor. And Jacob Elordi as the monster is an unconventional casting choice that perhaps that could be an angle. Other than that, I honestly can't really think of a great reason to give this a casting
People
nomination.
aren't talking that much about Mia Goth and Christoph Waltz, and Oscar Isaac's good, and some people like him, but I just don't think it's...
I like it, but I think Elordi is the main thing you remember.
And I think it's not enough. Springsteen I can't entertain that long because I just think that movie's falling.
If Weapons becomes the Best Picture film, would you consider that?
Well, of course, but no. Weapons is on my radar for this category. Absolutely.
Wake Up Dead Man?
Yeah, you can put it on there, but I think that they will not go out for that. I feel like this Knives Out movie is not getting the same Best Picture campaign that the last two did.
Look, they put their resources behind Glass Onion, very similar reviews, just didn't work. It didn't work.
Netflix came out thinking that this is their horse at a TIFF, and that movie got into Critics' Choice, and also PGA. And the first Knives Out got into PGA, and was pretty close for Best Picture. And
Netflix does not believe they can get this in any categories except for screenplay.
I don't think that it's viewed this way. I don't think it's going to be pushed this way. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be the same as the others.
Why would they spend all their resources trying to push Wake Up Dead Man? It's just not going to. It's not going to stick. Springsteen, I do not believe that will happen unless Jeremy Allen White is a lock in the conversation, and I just don't think it's like that.
Begonia, I would say, would be deserving.
That's not going to happen.
The Jesse Plemons and Stone combo. It was just an accident. I would love to see, but that is a long shot.
How would that get nominated? It would just
because there's a fantastic ensemble.
I agree, but it wouldn't get nominated.
Probably get a BAFTA cast.
Above that is The Smashing Machine.
Fuck off.
I don't want it to happen. I don't care.
There's no way.
There's not no way.
There's zero way. Why would they nominate that and Marty Supreme?
Because they wouldn't.
Yeah, I know.
At the very bottom of my list is like Nouvelle Vague, but that's just not going to happen either.
No, get away from me.
It's kind of a fun casting movie, but.
International feature. This is going to be a fun debate about what will win, but I'm going to go with Sentimental Value based on most nominations. Biggest neon contender. I understand, though, I can see that perhaps Jafar Panahi is maybe even the stronger like filmmaker contender of the year. And that's a movie that's getting in solely on the filmmaker. The Palme d'Or winner. This could be the place to reward him. I even have him above Joachim Trier in director.
Well, just so you know, the award doesn't technically go to any person. It goes to the country.
I know, but
so
it's
he doesn't
still
win
in
an
the
Oscar,
spirit
but
of
he would accept the award.
putting him on the stage.
He would accept the award, yes. And he might have something a little more poignant to say. Because the narrative is so much around him and his persecution for filmmaking and the films, being a response to that. Joachim Trier having a moment like this would be awesome. But in a way, I feel like it would be just as satisfying to see him win screenplay.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that anyway.
I think it's going to be It Was Just an Accident, and here's why. You can say that it's the biggest contender, but there's only been so many years, and as of recently, where we've had multiple international films nominated. It happened with Zone of Interest, but Anatomy of a Fall wasn't competing. So we didn't get any data from that year.
Anatomy of a Fall might have won, though.
Now, I'm not using it as an example in any direction. I'm saying the only example we really have is Amelia Perez versus I'm Still Here.
Which was... And the data is fudged on that one. If Amelia Perez didn't have controversy, sorry, bitch, that movie would have just won. It got 13
nominations. I want to poise to you that it's also kind of like how Flow triumphed over The Wild Robot, in the sense that The Wild Robot got more nominations.
Yeah.
You could see it as being, but it's vibes. At the end of the day, it's a vibe. And this category, if there's two solid Best Picture contenders, both of them with director and screenplay, it's going to be about vibes, whether it wins this award or not.
Yeah, but it could be about what they like more, couldn't it? You've Sentimental Value at 5, you've Accident at 8.
In terms of likelihood of getting in, but I mean, I would have had I'm Still Here at a very low likelihood of getting in.
Let's think about this. Critics' Choice is going with Sentimental Value.
Yeah,
uncontested.
I agree with that.
Golden Globes, they could go with Accident, or they could fucking surprise with Secret Agent.
Critics' Choice, if they go with No Other Choice.
No Other Choice.
In Best Picture
That's
and Director.
not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah, you're right.
BAFTA could be interesting. But if they did that and Sentimental Value was in their Best Film 5 and Accident wasn't, it would easily be evidence for me that what we're saying about Panahi's happening. Now, I have Panahi in 3 for Director and I have Trier in 5 for Director.
Yeah, there you go. Isn't that interesting?
That's kind of something. That's kind of something.
I'm going with it from vibes.
I actually feel like that's fair, and I will actually do it as well. The question is, does it feel like a filmmaker vote in this category? Because I do feel like Panahi is a more exciting filmmaker vote than Joachim Trier.
Well, remember when...
Because Joachim Trier, that movie is kind of like, the performances are kind of overtaking the conversation a bit. I have The Secret Agent at 3, above No Other Choice. And
wow.
The reason is because I think there's a world where No Other Choice is unfortunately more like No Decision to Leave. But I think that no matter what happens, The Secret Agent will get into this category.
Yeah, I weirdly agree with you, and I immediately moved it when you said that. So maybe in that sense, we should just put Secret Agent in Best Picture. I mean, look, if you get a Best Actor nomination and you're an international film, you obviously get a international feature nomination, right?
That's pretty much always true.
No Other Choice feels a little bit more like a gamble, right? Because we don't even think Neon's putting as much resources into it. They don't believe in it as much, so...
Yeah, we'll see what happens with it.
The number 5 slot, it comes down to... actually, a lot of films could get this. Surat is the film that Neon could get in that would make it 5 out of 5.
Not happening.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
Surat's fuck... When I saw that, I was like, that is not getting nominated for shit. That is a brutal movie.
It is.
And it's not an Academy movie. EO got nominated, and that felt like a movie that critics would like at Cannes, and then it wouldn't go anywhere, and it got nominated, okay? Similarly, Sound of Falling, I saw that, and I was like, no. That is not for the Academy.
Sound of Falling is not going to get nominated.
It's more likely that you're not going to get 5 Neon films, and you're not going to get 4 out of 5 Cannes films, okay? So I'm going to go with The Voice of Hindrajab. A lot of people feel very passionately about that movie. It does have a weaker distributor. Movies have gotten into this category with, you know, I don't really know who that is, distributors, and this director's last 2 films have been nominated somewhere at the Oscars.
For Best Documentary for Four Daughters, which is a really strong film. Really love that film.
And The Man Who Sold His Skin.
And The Man Who Sold His Skin. So 2 nominations there. So there's precedent for her to get a nomination. Netflix has Left-Handed Girl, which is a real crowd pleaser. And it's got some familiar names, and that Sean Baker is a writer and producer.
Sean Baker being behind it could be an interesting factor.
I think that might do pretty well with precursors, but it's not quite as heavy as some of these other films, like Hinderjob, for example. Not as heavy as that, not as important. It's like a really solid indie. Like, you could have seen it play at Sundance and be one of the most acclaimed there. My Father's Shadow was submitted from Nigeria, but I'm confused because the film is in English, and Nigeria submitted Lionheart, which was in English.
And the Oscars disqualified
it. And there was a lot of controversy because they were like, well, Nigerians speak English. And the other thing that feels unfair about that is those films are subtitled for American audiences because the accent is very different. You know, the Academy Awards has a requirement for predominantly non-English language. So I don't know if this meets the eligibility requirements.
Are you sure they didn't change their eligibility rules after that happened? And they got a lot of flack for that?
I don't think so.
Because why would they submit it again if it was not going to happen? So on Wikipedia, it has the languages listed as Naija and also English. And apparently Naija is an English-based Creole language spoken in Nigeria. So it might have an argument that it's technically not English.
They should use that. They should try it. Look, I think either way, it's not going to get nominated, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the strongest one.
I think it's a really good film and everybody should see it.
President's Cake.
It's an Iraqi film. Most people think it's really good. I've seen it.
Kind of
I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 if anyone's curious. I don't think it's like a crowd pleaser. It's more of like a social realism film. A child trying to accomplish a pretty simple task of like getting ingredients for a cake, but all the obstacles that they come across have to do with social and political reasons completely outside of their control and their like scope of understanding. Like,
this sounds like something that would get nominated in live action short.
Yeah, it does actually. And it would probably have the same ending that this movie has. And then they'd be like, oh, that was like an interesting ending. And the film's also really beautifully shot. I don't think Iraq has ever had a film nominated. That would be historic. Nouvelle Vague disqualified, by the way, because it was just an accident, was submitted by France, which is a sick move on their part.
You have Late Shift from Germany, which could maybe be like The Teacher's Lounge, same actress, also acclaimed. Didn't make as big of a splash. And then All That's Left of You has actually been submitted by Jordan, I think. And we thought that since Palestine submitted Palestine 36, which would probably not be nominated, but that's their submission, that I thought that means that movies are going nowhere, but there it is. All That's Left of You is getting submitted.
I think A Poet from Colombia does have a chance. The Letterboxd is really strong for that. It's also a very good film.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to... I don't know about that one, but...
I wouldn't predict it, but I think it has a chance.
In documentary feature, you've got some contenders that are really rising to the top, I would say. And we have Cinema Eye and we have the Doc NYC shortlists, and the films that are on those lists are going to be weighted more heavily. The Critics' Choice nominations, I don't care about. Perfect Neighbor is just going to get in everywhere, pretty much. That one's pretty close to being locked, I would say, although you can never really say that for sure in this category.
We should be skeptical of that as a winner, though, actually. Because it's the reason it's at number 1 in the app, and the reason it's actually number 1 in my award expert right now is because it's just been there the whole year. But
no, it's not the only reason.
I'm not sure that wins, right?
Man, I got to tell you, Netflix is pushing this hard, and they are getting it in everywhere. It's getting nominated.
I believe it's getting nominated everywhere, but I'm
the
saying,
Gothams.
But I'm wondering if Put Your Soul on Your Hand and Walk could be The winner,
That movie did not make the Cinema Eye long list, by the way. I guess it's something that it missed that it's very strange. The other miss that I guess I'd point out is that the Alabama Solution didn't make the Doc NYC long list, which is kind of weird because I do have that predicted right now. I agree that Put Your Soul in Your Hand and Walk is number 2. Mr. Nobody Against Putin seems to be doing pretty well so far. I have that at number 3. It seems very strong.
3?
And, yeah, and
I have it at number 6.
I think that you can consider...
It's about a teacher who is trying to combat Russian propaganda. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it does seem strong from that angle, but there's a lot of really strong stuff here.
The Alabama Solution is about the American prison system being horrendous. That has really, really strong Letterboxd. And it seems like the more people see it, the more they believe. 2,000 Meters to Andrivka is doing plenty well so far. I don't have a reason to say I won't get nominated.
What about Apocalypse in the Tropics?
Definitely a contender.
I was wondering maybe that's the film that just gets nominated everywhere and becomes a lock, like because a lot of those independent documentary groups are really into it.
That's also a Netflix contender, yes. Cover Up is getting nominations so far. It doesn't have as strong reactions as All the Beauty and the Bloodshed and Citizen4, the director's last 2 movies, but still strong and could maybe get nominated, and she's a very recognizable name. She's gotten in twice. Seeds is also doing really well so far. So is Cutting Through Rocks. Those are the tops. Come See Me in the Good Light could maybe show up. I think that will probably make the doc long list. Orwell 2 + 2 = 5 is doing well, but it seems like the kind of thing that does better at Critics' Choice than it will at the Oscars.
I mean, we're putting in a lot of issue films, like in the top 5. I think
as you
all
should.
Of them are. It doesn't always happen though that they're issue films.
Yeah, but good bets for now. Animated feature. I think K-pop Demon Hunters is actually going to run away with this. Run away with it. Absolute sensation. One of the probably the most viewed movie this year right now.
It's weird though because it's a sensation that many people in conversation will tell you they think is good but not amazing, but they just acknowledge that hey, it's probably going to win the Oscar.
Yeah, well, what else is there?
Zootopia
That's the question.
2.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
But it's the thing that's there.
K-pop Demon Hunter is going to have more fans than Zootopia 2. That will be a solid sequel.
I think
probably.
that K-pop Demon Hunters weirdly has this inevitability narrative that of course it's going to win because it was the biggest sensation and people are just fine with it. And Netflix is pushing the hell out of it.
The songs
doing
are everywhere.
Interviews with the K-pop band and
the songs are everywhere. It's an unavoidable force.
It'll probably be the only other film to have a nomination anywhere else.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
Because of the song.
Arco is not Flow. I've seen Arco.
People like it, but they don't love it.
Yeah, I know. I liked it. I didn't love it.
Put Little Amelie above it. People really like that.
I'm more convinced
people love that.
I'm more convinced that Arco is getting a strong neon push. Although Little Amelie, G Kids is not a studio to underestimate in terms of getting a nomination in this category. They've done it a lot.
It's like a 4.1
a lot of
Letterboxd.
stealth contenders. People love Little Amelie. When I'm talking to people at festivals, they're like, yeah, I liked Arco, but Little Amelie is better to me.
That's the underdog to win then.
A lot of people don't even have it getting nominated.
That's the underdog to win.
That's a 75-minute movie. It's also French. This is good. Being from France, the Academy is paying attention for some fucking reason.
Eurocentric.
They are Eurocentric. You can say that, sure. I have that at number 4. I'm feeling pretty good about Little Amelie, and I don't know why it's taking people a long time to catch on. It's not like there are a lot of other movies. I think number 5 is between Elio and In Your Dreams. In Your Dreams, the reactions broke on this one. And people like it. It's solid. It's going to get a 3.3 on Letterboxd. It's going to have a 3 peak. Okay? Is that good enough to get you nominated if people aren't paying that much attention to your movie, but you're being pushed by Netflix? And let me just say, they are being pushed by Netflix. I've gotten a lot of emails about this movie. I think the movie will not do numbers. I just feel like no one's really paying attention, but it will be well liked. Some people are like, oh, I cried. So that's pretty good. I mean, is that better than Elio? It's probably similar to Elio's reviews. But Elio was seen as a Pixar flop where maybe this movie's a bit of an underdog. And then you have Neja 2. This was not seen in the United States. And no one knows what it is except
they tried. A24 tried. They gave it a wide release.
This is the second failed...
And no one went to see it.
This is the second failed re-release by A24 behind Sing Sing. Where they thought, well, now we'll re-release it. And then it was the same thing happened again. I know that people love the movie, but no one knows about the box office hits of China. And Scarlet, people are still predicting Scarlet. And the reason they're predicting it is because they were predicting it the whole year. And they haven't internalized all the evidence needed to give it up. But the evidence is there. This kind of movie, heavy anime action, someone's got a sword type of anime, does not get in. The only anime that gets in is like a coming of age anime about
children that's in the vein of Miyazaki.
Yes. And this is not that.
Even Your Name and Suzumi did not get nominated here. And this film, by comparison, is a flop critically.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It really did.
The reviews
really
are not that good.
Some people say it's good, but like that it's a struggle to get through. It's a little too long.
This is one of the director's worst reviewed movies, and Letterboxd loves animation, and they don't care. Letterboxd doesn't care. Like, why the hell would this get a crazy push?
It's not going anywhere. It might get a Golden Globe nomination still because there's 6 slots, but that's kind of it.
Maybe. The Twits, is that even coming out? Like, literally, is that coming out? I guess you can go for A Magnificent Life. Like, if you compare that to, like, Scarlet, you could maybe say that seems stronger. They're both Sony Pictures classics.
That's not happening.
I don't think it's happening. But
it came out at Cannes and everyone was like, you don't need to see it. And I was like, okay, I'm done. No one's talked about that movie since.
Yeah, you're right. I
wanted to take a minute to promote Award Expert. The app has a pro tier that maybe some people are not aware of. You click the top left or right corner, you'll see what is on offer for the pro tier. I am going to be adding to it. So if you're looking at that and you're like, oh, that's not enough for me to become a subscriber, I am going to try to entice you more as the year goes on. I am working out of pocket for Award Expert, and the subscribers have been very encouraging and helpful for me to keep working on Award Expert. Also, just checking out Award Expert on web is really important right now. Trying to get the Google algorithm to recognize that and think it's legitimate. And I'm also working on enhancing a lot of the pages on that website and making it a go-to destination for award season. We're writing articles. We got the category pages up with some insights that you won't get in the mobile app. Data on whether contenders are on the rise or falling. If you want to reference that on your blog, or you are like someone who owns a legitimate website and you want to cite Award Expert, that is a huge help for Google to recognize the site as authoritative and legitimate. And just sharing any kind of link to Award Expert across any website would be really helpful. Those are the things you can do to support my work, and hopefully I'm delivering you the goods, and I'm going to continue to try to deliver the goods before the end of the Oscar season.
Cinematography. I do have one battle after another winning this. I do think Sinners could win because Sinners has like the most memorable shot of the year pretty much. It has beautiful landscapes, beautiful sense of place, but One Battle also got to tout like this 70 millimeter like VistaVision whatever like film format thing.
Yeah.
So it I feel like it a little bit stole the thunder there. One Battle is a little stronger in picture, and if I think about what would be Oscar worthy about One Battle cinematography, it would really be like the way that they photograph those rolling hills in the action scene at the end of the movie.
I think the film throughout, though, is like a cinematic feast. Yeah. I love the way that the film is shot in its entirety. I like how the cinematography is kind of organic and gritty, and it feels like not overly composed, like feels very natural. And I also think the camera movement is just stunning throughout, touring all of these buildings and these undercover groups. I just think that was the most impressively photographed film of the year for me. The entirety of the film was also filmed in IMAX, and a lot of people got to see it in that format. Though Sinners has that more impressive shot in the middle, pound for pound, One Battle was kind of like a better looking or like more impressive film cinematography wise.
I think there's an argument for Sinners though. I think it's mainly that One Battle winning puts it over the edge to me. I have Hamnet at number 3. I think there's no way that doesn't get nominated. That movie is just fucking beautiful. Not much more to say there. Like that's obviously getting in. And then you have Frankenstein, which I feel like at this point is obviously getting in. That's a huge spectacle movie, and the cinematographer was nominated for Guillermo del Toro's past 2 live action movies. Like what could possibly be the problem here?
Yeah, now that Frankenstein's a lock. That was the one where I was thinking, if it's not in Best Picture, maybe it gets cinematography, maybe not, because it would be like the 5th craft nomination in line, but it's gonna happen.
And at number 5, I think you don't have to have Marty Supreme.
Really?
And the reason
I thought it was so impressive.
It's shot like their other films.
It's immersive. It has those tight lenses. It's like their signature style. There are many different camera angles that it's cutting between. Sure, I know it's not the kind of cinematography where you're doing like a long wide angle tracking shot, but I believe that the work will be recognized for what it is.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's like handheld close-ups.
It's also a period film.
And
that I think that helps. Just every frame looking gorgeous.
But you have to acknowledge that handheld close-ups the whole time is not on paper, like, does not necessarily equal Oscar nomination here.
I think the camera work, though, I can think of films like Black Swan or Catherine Bigelow's work where people recognize that that is a distinct style that you employ, and it works really well in this film.
I think Black Swan's a little different. I think that's more aggressive stylistically. Zero Dark 30 did not get nominated for cinematography. Neither did Captain Phillips. I do think that Darius Konji being the cinematographer does help, and the cinematographer's branch likes their favorites. You have a couple other contenders that make a lot of sense in that they're just very beautiful fucking movies. This would be Train Dreams and The Testament of Anne Lee. But these cinematographers are not previous nominees. They don't have like the body of work that, you know, a branch favorite has at this point.
And if you're not in Best Picture, then you kind of need that to get nominated. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because you can definitely get nominated outside of Best Picture in this category, as we've seen happen in recent years, but you probably want to be a big name cinematographer. You want to be like a celebrity cinematographer.
I think Netflix will push Train Dreams hard, though.
They are.
I just feel like ASC is not going to nominate that because they don't like small movies. And look what happened with Nickel Boys. R.I.P.
Oh, yeah. It is like unquestionably one of the most gorgeously shot films of the year.
Absolutely.
But I would have it in if I didn't have this 5. I would have it in.
Yeah, it's number 6 for me.
I just can't fit
It's number 6 for me. That's like it to me, kind of, in a way. I don't
think,
know what else.
I think Wicked for Good is in there.
Fine, because it's going to get Critics' Choice.
No Other Choice is a long shot.
No Other Choice is not happening.
Jay Kelly is an outside shot too.
Jay Kelly has a shot. I thought Ballad of a Small Player when I saw it. I was like, maybe that can get a lone cinematography nomination because that movie is an absolute feast.
Yeah,
but
it's a visual feast.
It's so nothing. My God,
I love.
I feel like Netflix has stopped
love
campaigning
the cinematography in Ballad of a Small Player. They made the poker scenes feel as riveting as any sports drama I've seen, but I don't think that film.
Maybe in terms of just color. That's like one of the best fucking shot movies of the year.
It is.
I do not think Begonia is happening. I think you can give up on that.
I don't think so, but I think it's at like very bottom of my list.
Yeah. Some people are arguing for F1. I don't think that's fucking happening. No. Get away from me. Top Gun Them starting Top Gun Maverick. You think they're going to redeem that for a movie that's not even in Best Picture? Are you kidding me? And F1 is also not as impressive.
Some people have Avatar in. If the last one didn't get announced.
No, I don't see why.
The Secret Agent has some really strong cinematography, but it would have to become a very competitive contender, like across the board, to get that nomination.
Go to editing. You got one battle at number 1 again, folks. I mean, this one, I think, could happen without Best Picture. It's one of the best paced movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, that's some of the fastest 3 hours I've ever sat through. And it being an action movie, it winning Best Picture probably.
Absolutely.
Or at least being top 2. I mean, Hamlet's not going to win Best Editing. Sinners, even if it was winning, we were like, would that win Best Editing? One Battle is the showier pick for editing.
After I saw Marty Supreme, I thought, if One Battle weren't here, we might have a winner on our hands for editing.
I'm not so sure about that.
Very quick film. Very funny.
Awesome. Give me an example of that winning where it didn't also win Best Picture. Typically, you're a bigger,
I can't.
tech player, higher budget movie if you're winning without winning Best Picture.
Or you're like winning
sound. Or you're like a genre film. It is a thriller in a sense. It's like kind of a crime thriller. I think it's not a conventional winner. I definitely have it being nominated though, and I could see some people saying it's too long.
Yeah, I have Hamlet in here because like I just think that's obvious that it's one of the top films of the year, and the editing is really impressive. Hamlet has really strong pacing. It's slow, but it's very deep. Like it really reaches into the characters and pulls out those really potent moments from the actors. I really love the editing Hamlet. I also love Hamlet as like a craft movie. I think like the crafts in that are immaculate. I have sentimental value at 5, which is pretty low.
What do you mean it's low?
I was confident that this was going to be a lock for editing after I saw it at Cannes, but there's just been so many strong contenders this year that I don't think sentimental value is even like a top 5 Best Picture film. So,
but you do.
I do? Well, I think it's down to like being number 5 for Best Picture, and hey, that's how the editing category is turning out, isn't it? That this is the Best Picture top 5, so I still have it in.
I think that Wicked and Frankenstein could get in.
Wicked could get in.
Wicked got in last time. You don't need to nominate it in this category again, though.
You just don't need to. House of Dynamite, as far as being an editing,
get away.
I think House of Dynamite's just not.
Movie's dead.
The vibes got so bad online for that film. Just people being like, that's the most mid movie I've ever seen.
2.9 Letterboxd.
Really?
6.5 on IMDb.
2.9.
Oh, it's fucking rip.
I didn't realize.
It's rip.
Wow, this had Oscar bait for you.
F1, again, it's like the cinematography thing. Some people think F1. I actually don't. I think this is like a very small maybe possibility for F1. To be fair, F1 is like the highest grossing original film. Like people are like, oh, it's Sinners is the highest grossing original film in a long time. Actually, fucking F1. Baby Driver was nominated with that Best Picture, so I'll just put that out there. But
what about Frankenstein? Just for being a craft movie in general, for being an across the board contender.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, and then I have Jay Kelly at the very bottom because it kind of has showy editing, I guess.
No other choice, dude. We didn't even mention.
Oh, I thought you mentioned that. I have it number 7.
I feel like it's a thing that's not going to happen. But it is a really, really strong element of the movie that everybody who sees it is talking about. So I hope to see it embraced. Sentimental value, though, makes sense for number 5. They'll nominate like a straight drama in this category if they like it enough, for sure. They will. Maybe we can't underestimate Wicked, though. I don't know. That might get as good reviews as the first or close to it.
It is a musical, and I think that does help you in editing because you're like a lock for sound. Production design. Why do we both have Frankenstein at number 1 for production design?
Because sequels win in this category less often than in, say, costumes. And Frankenstein had some crazy production design.
Yeah, it did.
And now we know that it's in Best Picture.
I agree it's going to win. I don't necessarily think people will say it was more impressive than Wicked, but they'll say, we already gave Wicked the award, and this is equally as impressive.
I think that people will say that we reused some of the sets from Wicked 1. Which one? I've seen that said, and I've seen it said that the costumes feels less like they're reusing them. They probably are wearing a lot of new clothes.
Okay.
But they're reusing a lot of the same sets. Even though there are going to be some new ones, and it will surely get nominated. I believe it.
Frankenstein was like the kind of film that if Wicked weren't in the running at all, you would say it's a runaway win for production design. It is that impressive. The sets look fucking massive, too. Wicked for Good, number 2. Then I have Hamnet because I was very impressed with Hamnet as well.
It's a period movie, and they did the thing where they built the theater at the end.
It's a gorgeous-looking period film. All the interiors are very atmospheric, and the cinematography really lets you like feel the entirety of the set as well. So I think that's important. A lot of deep focus interior shots. I got Marty Supreme in here, and I have One Battle After Another.
Excuse your ass.
I was right about Conclave. I'm just gonna say that,
buddy.
Here's why this movie makes sense, and your brain hasn't clicked into it yet. You haven't clicked into it. You have
not explained why Sinners doesn't make sense.
Sinners does make sense. But let me just try to sell you on One Battle.
Buddy, I liked the production design in One Battle.
I know you did. I know. You did.
You don't have to sell me on anything.
It almost makes intuitive sense that a large spectacle film that's doing very well in craft categories would get production design.
It's not a period movie, though, so sorry to you.
It's not a period film, but it's also a sort of anachronistic and hard to place film in terms of its time period. It has the 80s style, but it's like a contemporary film with iPhones and like modern technology, but also some technology that seems like it was created for the film. It's also a massive film with just many, many locations, which I think...
Yeah, a lot of them are exteriors.
Production design is also finding locations, to be fair. But
I'm not sure
people see it that way.
One Battle had some amazing production design. But Sinners is a period movie that's just an across-the-board, like, all the tech nominations contender in my eyes. The barn is a memorable set, and so is, the beginning where they've got, like, a whole street. There's even a tracking shot of somebody walking in between buildings in that street.
Yeah,
that's just, memorable. Like, Killers of the Flower Moon shit.
I love that shot. That's a great shot, by the way.
Now, Marty Supreme, I don't think this is locked, but I have it because it's Jack Fisk. He is a favorite. Yeah. He's kind of a legend.
He's known for films like The Revenant and The Tree of Life.
And David Lynch's movies.
Yeah, I mean, his style of cinematography is like immersive 360 sets. And it's been very influential.
That movie has plenty of sets, too.
Yeah.
Bowling alleys and like abandoned homes and weird apartments and ping pong tournaments.
Like, his cinematography is always very organic.
One Battle After Another is in the 10th.
It's also a film that could get a couple extra nominations.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know. I don't think it's not possible. I just think that you
have it at number 6.
I have it at number 7 behind Avatar, Fire, and Ash.
Oh,
which
yeah, I forgot
apparently
about
we
that.
have in Best Picture. Now, here's my argument against it, even though I have it in Best Picture. Way of Water brought us to a brand new world where they had like these crazy fucking this crazy net village, and in this movie when I watch the trailer I see the net village and that's the same from the last movie. What are we getting that's new? I'm not sure we're getting a lot that's new. We have the same forests, we have the same waters, we have the same net village.
What about Fireworld?
Fireworld is just it's like a vacant like ash dusty place with bones, and I don't think it's as production design. I just challenge you to watch the trailer and just think if it stands out as much as Way of Water. But it's like, how the first got cinematography and the second was amazing looking and
if
it still didn't get cinematography.
Best Picture and it doesn't get production design, that's actually funny. 3 nominations.
Oh, wait. But what about the stat?
What's that?
The visual effects winner and the production design nomination. And there aren't many franchises that just get consistently nominated in a tech category again and again and again. If you look at like the Hobbit movies, they get nominated kind of in different categories. Same with the Harry Potter franchise. Even Dune, like Dune got a lot of fucking weird snubs. And I don't have Avatar in picture in like a way that I'm actually like really confident in Avatar now. I'm not as confident in other things anymore, and I think it can squeeze in.
Do you think maybe though that One Battle's production design is impressive enough that a branch who will probably like the film a lot would vote for it?
Why not Sinners though? Why is it above Sinners?
Only because One Battle After Another is above Sinners.
But Sinners is a top 3.
Sinners is top 3, but I don't think production design is its most guaranteed nomination. Like I think it's stronger in cinematography.
But why would
stronger in like score?
I just don't know why it wouldn't get production design. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know why either.
You are predicting a contemporary film over it, so you have to tell me why.
Well, I'm predicting the Best Picture winner to get nominated over it.
Everything Everywhere wasn't nominated. And you could have nominated Everything Everywhere, couldn't you have?
Yeah.
That did get an extra nomination in costumes.
That wasn't a $150 million movie, though. Like, One Battle After Another is an epic. I guess I agree in the sense that I can't really think of a good example of a similar film.
Yeah, I know you can't. Sinners was a period fantasy genre movie.
Like, I'm thinking about it as, okay, well, Power of the Dog got nominated, and maybe it's like that, where that was not really expected.
Power of the Dog was a fucking straight up period Western.
I get that. I get it. It's period Western. I'll let you put Sinners in. Like, I'm not really sure. I don't have a great reason to kick it out.
The other two I have in here, and I'm just going to leave it at that, really, because I don't think anything else is a great shot, is Testament of Van Lee. Kiss of the Spider-Woman is number 9. No one saw it, but it does have some of the goods that you'd expect for a movie.
Meh.
Okay. Costumes. This is where I do have Wicked at number 1. You watch the trailer, there's plenty of new costumes to go around. Black Panther won twice.
Yeah, I don't think Frankenstein's costumes, by comparison, are as show-stopping as Wicked's are.
But I do have it at number 2.
I have Hamnet.
Hamnet's just an easy one. I actually have Sinners at number 3, though.
I have Sinners at number 4.
Sinners costumes, you're not going to doubt that.
I don't doubt it. I have it number 4.
Perfect.
I have it above Marty Supreme, and that's my number 5.
This is a tough 5 to beat. Yeah, Marty Supreme is number 5, though.
Yeah.
It is a period film, and it's a top contender. But you could argue that it's not as eye-popping as the costumes in maybe Testament and Lee.
But that's because it's New York, though.
And also
it's a little bit more gritty and...
You can't find that many years where costumes goes 5 out of 5 with picture.
You have a lot of huge contenders in Best Picture this year.
Yeah, you do.
Like that are really dominating craft categories, and I feel like that's not usual.
This is also the same 5 that we have in production design. Again, it has happened, but it's rare. So honestly, a realistic thing that could happen here is that Testament of Van Lee takes over Marty Supreme.
That's not realistic to me, though.
But
Marty Supreme seems really secure to me.
It's not really secure.
I think
in costumes, why?
Yeah. It's a period film that had an insane amount of extras and costumes to create.
Yeah, but does the main character wear anything like that memorable?
I think his outfits are actually iconic.
Sweater vests? Okay.
I think his looks were iconic, and they put him in a little slightly bigger clothes so that he looks more like a boy.
Testament of Van Lee, you have to admit, that is down the line something that would get nominated.
Yes, it is. And it's just not in Best Picture. That's my only argument.
You could get close.
It could get close.
The Silly Life of Mrs. Whoever got nominated. Like, they nominate random fucking movies and costumes. I'm telling you, dude.
And they nominate Marty Supreme. Like, that's classic.
They usually do a classic costume movie here. Florence Foster Jenkins, Beauty and the Beast, Victoria and Abdul.
You need to explain what the competition was in those years.
Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Napoleon beat Maestro. Marty Supreme isn't as flashy as Ann Lee, and therefore Ann Lee gets in over it. Last year, Gladiator 2 beat Dune. Nosferatu, again, 1700s and earlier, like, you're in good shape. I'm actually going to do it.
No, you're not.
I am.
Stop.
I am.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Searchlight's number 1. You told me when you saw the movie.
A24 is number 1?
I don't think
actually
Marty Supreme,
a sprawling period
I don't think
epic?
Marty Supreme is relishing in the periodness in the way that like some of the like that Ann Lee is
in its own way.
That Ann Lee is.
What you just said can be simplified to Ann Lee takes place further back in time. And if you want to argue that, that's fine.
That's actually a great argument. Thank you for making it.
You're allowed to do it.
Actually, your fucking community thinks that Testament of Ann Lee is getting nominated over Marty Supreme.
Well, they can listen to this argument and they can judge for themselves what's going to happen.
Because Timmy's just wearing suits. It's a men in suits movie, unfortunately for you. Unfortunately for you.
He's not the only person in the film. I'll let you do it. I would say Hedda is a long shot for costumes. Maybe it gets some critics nominations. I'm not really sure.
It's number 9.
I think Hedda had some really strong costumes. Also, really strong crafts in Hedda overall, like the cinematography, production design. But Hedda doesn't feel like it's getting a major Oscar push. Kiss of the Spider-Woman.
One battle. Makeup. Frankenstein number 1. Jacob Elordi. 10 hours makeup chair. I do feel like he looks a little smooth, and maybe he could have looked a little more, like, disgusting.
No, he's still getting nominated, though. I think he's still going to win.
I think that's going to win, though. I think Wicked is...
Because he doesn't look like Jacob Elordi. Whatever they did to him, they made him something else.
Now, Wicked, pretty safe, I think, for another nomination here.
Wicked has potentially a new angle to introduce to this because of the Tin Man and because of the Straw Man.
Straw Man?
The Scarecrow. Those two characters, you know, they're not animating it like they're animating the animals. They're doing makeup and costumes for those.
Smashing Machine, I still have because it's a classic transformation prosthetics thing.
But
and it's Kazuhiro, and it's Kazuhiro.
I don't know who that is.
He won 2 Oscars, thanks, in like the last 5 years.
You're welcome.
Bombshell.
Well, Dwayne Johnson and the film are not really contenders, so does that matter to you? I think
nope.
It paves the way for potential.
It doesn't matter to me.
I have it in, and I have it at number 3. I'm just saying it because it's nowhere else it could get swapped.
Well, it's House of Gucci.
I have 28 Years Later because maybe the makeup is expansive in that, and all the zombies are like just covered.
Yeah, they don't usually do this though.
They don't usually do it, but how many zombie films are there? The extras are just like there's like fucking larvae like in their pores. It's disgusting.
So do you have Wolfman in? Wolfman is very traditional makeup contender. Right. Very traditional. No one sees it coming, no one cares, makes the short list.
But we didn't have any no one sees it coming, no one cares films last year in makeup.
That's because the category was so crowded you didn't need it.
20 Years Later did well at the box office. It did well enough with critics and attention that...
It did have like a full body fucking people.
Yeah.
It was pretty insane. I guess I can have it in. I was going to have Wolfman, but I feel like Wolfman could also just miss the shortlist because nobody cares and it's not getting campaigned.
That's the thing. No one cares about Wolfman.
You want to do Weapons instead?
I have Weapons in because of Amy Madigan, period. That would be very strong, though. I mean,
Amy Madigan, though, I did read an article. There are light prosthetics. Very light prosthetics. But the whole face thing, like... We've seen people get nominated when you transform the face. I mean, Cynthia Erivo is one.
The Joker movies.
Joker. Both Jokers. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Judy. It's just a very iconic look. Very strange, iconic look for this character. A couple looks, actually.
Very memorable. It also feels unconventional, right? Like, it's a horror movie.
So is Wolfman, though. You're deciding between...
So is 28 Years Later.
And Sinners. So you're actually deciding between a lot of horror movies here. Yeah. And I do think they are the best options.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Sinners is as strong. Like, I don't remember thinking the makeup was really impressive. If anything, I was like, that looks a little silly. Jack O'Connell, though, in that last scene.
Yeah, for a minute long.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that looks pretty good, but...
I don't really know what else to have. Warfare, Kisses of Spider-Woman. Like, I just don't know what else to have.
Yeah.
People need to stop with Begonia. People are just predicting Begonia everywhere that Poor Things was, and it's not the same. Visual effects. Avatar winning. You got F1. We've learned about how many visual effects there are in that film, and I don't think that movie is entirely dead in the text, and so it can get in here. I think that makes sense. Wicked for Good. Seems like it'll do what the first did. I don't have a problem saying that. You got Superman. This doesn't have to get nominated, but I think there's enough of a case for it. It would be the first DC film in a while to do so. Or is it the first DC film ever? But no matter, because it is James Gunn directing, and he's had plenty of films nominated here, the Guardians movies. And then you got Fantastic Four First Steps, which is kind of like a Guardians movie, and they do like Marvel in the category. This seems to have more going on than like Deadpool and Wolverine, so I have that in. Tron Ares apparently sucks, and I don't think people care. Mission Impossible was underwhelming, and so I don't think that will get in the way that that last movie did, being the only one ever that got in, and then they do it again for a movie that's the worst in like 4 movies. Jurassic World Rebirth, they have not nominated any of those movies.
What about How to Train Your Dragon?
Meh.
Why not?
Why?
There's creatures in it.
Well,
I have it at like number 7.
Frankenstein has visual effects,
but they're not great. If anything, the hype around them is they feel a little bit like they're taking you out of the film.
Yeah, I've had this 5 for like the past few videos, honestly. Mickey 17, I've seen some conversation about recently. Perhaps this could make a comeback here. I mean, I thought The Bugs looked okay, but it is a space movie, and apparently the twin The twin tech was pretty impressive on it. Sound, I have one battle winning. I don't know how much sense it makes, but I don't know that anything else has a stronger case to win. And so maybe it just being here could get it checked off.
I'm not super confident about it winning, but I do think it gets nominated.
Maybe Wicked for Good could win in like a Les Miserables winning way.
Why is One Battle even a lock for a nomination? Just because it has cars and guns, I guess.
Yeah, and it's winning Best Picture.
Yeah, it's enough, I guess. Wicked for Good definitely getting nominated. F1, I wasn't as impressed with the sound as I thought I was going to be going in, so I have it at like number 3.
I have it at number 5. Avatar, I definitely think will get nominated.
You're right, Avatar's over that.
And then Sinners is a music movie, but it's not that much of a musical.
But because there's music, that matters.
It does seem to matter. I mean, they nominated all the music movies last year, even when no one else in the precursors did that. The BAFTA nominated like one of the music movies, and we were like, oh shit, maybe this year the Oscars won't nominate all the music movies. And then they nominated all the music movies. So I'm going to go with that till proven otherwise. Now, Frankenstein. I got to tell you, man, when I saw this movie, I thought there's a lot of sound in that. And if that gets into Best Picture, it's probably going to be underestimated here. There's like the scene where he's pushing the ship off the ice. It's like the crackling of the ice and like the ship moving like... And the scene where he's bringing Frankenstein to life, freaking electricity and lightning and like it had some loud ass scenes. Jacob Elordi's voice as the monster, that's a lot of soundcraft. His presence and his footsteps and explosion. There's like multiple explosion scenes in the movie too. This will make the long list and it might get nominated. I could see it taking out Sinners or F1 maybe. I have Warfare at 7 because Warfare was Oscar-worthy sound, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oscar-worthy. But that movie kind of came and went, didn't make as much money as Civil War. I think it will make the shortlist, though. And if, this truly is a branch category where they are judging it based on, like, a bake-off, then, that can definitely get in. I mean, remember when the creator of Mission Impossible got in, and it seemed like, wow, maybe this category is really going to start to go in the direction of nominating some movies that are not part of Best Picture because they're having these bake-offs. But didn't the bake-offs get canceled last year because of the fires? Yes, they were. In fact, they were replaced with virtual discussions. So you actually have to wonder if that's why that didn't happen 2 years in a row. And maybe this year with the bake-off, they would nominate something like Warfare.
Hamnet was very atmospheric with the sound design, but I don't think it's the kind of work that gets nominated. Springsteen had great sound in my opinion, but I don't hear anybody else talking about that.
That movie's done.
They did a lot to distinguish the different phases in development of his music in the sound. I could really tell what was happening. It really told the story of the development. Marty Supreme, I think it's like an outside shot.
Did you know that Johnny Byrne did Hamnet? He did the Zone of Interest.
Oh, wow.
And he also did Tuner, which apparently has sick-ass sound design.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of the lone prospect of Tuner.
The Testament of Anne Lee is a music film. I think that's a contender.
Yeah.
House of Dynamite's probably not getting nominated. Mission Impossible.
Best score, we got One Battle winning again. How many Oscars do we think One Battle is winning at this point? 8? 9?
9?
I have 9. Can I do that? I might not be able to do that, man. That might be too many.
What's too many? Sound?
I don't know. Supporting actor might not happen. Sound might not happen. Cinematography might not happen.
I think it's going to get an acting win somewhere.
Look, it probably won't win 9, okay? That would be insane. But the fact that it could. The fact that it could
means
however,
it's like easily the front runner.
Remember how La La Land was maybe going to win 11? And
yeah.
It didn't win Best Picture?
Yeah.
Just got to watch out. You got to watch out every year. I have One Battle at number 1 for score because Johnny Greenwood coming along with that movie. I mean, that's a pairing everybody knows about. That is an amazing score. One of the best of the year. And yes, Sinners has also an iconic score. But Ludwig has 2 Oscars and Johnny Greenwood is Oscar-less. So what are you going to do? Give it to Johnny Greenwood, why don't you? Marty Supreme, Daniel Lopatin. Some pundits can doubt it all you want. But in actuality, this is Jurgen Fendrix getting nominated for Poor Things.
Yeah.
Friggin' sick-ass, eclectic-ass score. Also, Daniel Lopatin has done some iconic film scores by now with Uncut Gems. I think he'll happen. That score was incredible for Marty Supreme. It's also not traditional, I think. It actually uses a lot of classical instrumentation, as well as synths.
Yeah.
But it's compositionally...
It stands out.
Amazing,
it's maximalist, too, which is very important. Now, Max Richter, I think he's going to get nominated for Hamnet. That just seems like it's going to happen.
So unless it gets disqualified.
Those are all locked.
Unless it gets disqualified.
Apparently, they're not worried. They've examined the rules, and they know it's not going to disqualify them that they use on The Nature of Daylight in the last scene.
Max Richter never been nominated. And then you have Desplat for Frankenstein. He's been snubbed a few times, but of course, His recent snubs are for movies that were not in Best Picture, did not make it. If this movie makes it, I can easily see that happening. I mean, it's got Oscar-y score written all over it.
I could see Desplat missing for Frankenstein. And if so, they have Wicked, where they could nominate John Powell again.
Yeah.
And there's even more music this time because of the original songs. So it's not even just score in between the songs. You have Jay Kelly, if that's a contender. That probably gets nominated if it's a contender. House of Dynamite's not going to happen. I think that was tainted by the comparisons of Conclave. Begonia is possible, especially if that's in Best Picture.
Only if it's in Best Picture.
Only if it's in Best Picture, though.
And even then, I could see them snubbing it. Testament of Anne Lee. Very much looking out for this. I currently have it predicted for a Golden Globe nomination. That movie actually might do pretty well at the Golden Globes. It could get comedy musical actress, and score.
I mean, all the musical numbers, if you want to call them that, in Anne Lee are score. And the instrumentation is very out there. It's very dedicated to using the sounds and the instruments of the time. It creates a very weird effect. Like, it's very eerie. And like of another era,
and it's some afterglow love possibly for Daniel Blumberg.
Yeah,
I could have that.
There's a lot of possibilities for number 5.
There's a lot of possibilities for Anne Lee. If you notice, that's in a lot of our top 10s.
And there's a lot of competition in all those categories.
That's where I'm saying that Anne Lee, when the BAFTA long lists come out and when the Oscar short lists come out, it will give us a spook.
Why would that spook me though?
Because of what happened with All Quiet on the Western Front.
It's not like that.
Wicked, I realized Stephen Schwartz was included in the nomination with John Powell, and he is kind of a branch fave for musicals. So it made sense for him to get that nomination. But, again, like we see with a lot of sequels, I think Wicked has to have some nominations that don't carry over from the first. And especially because apparently it's getting some bonus ones in the casting category and in song. Man, on its best day, Wicked could have like 13 nominations.
Yeah.
But I feel like it won't happen. I also have Train Dreams at number 10. That is a really, really gorgeous score and one of the best of the year.
Then we got Song. Girl in the Bubble is allegedly the one from Wicked for Good.
That's what they're all saying.
Yeah.
And whose song is it?
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande's. We got that wrong because we said Cynthia Erivo. That seems like she'd have the powerhouse number.
Yeah.
And her song may be nominated, but I suppose there's a chance that Wicked only gets one song. We have to be very open to that too. And if there's only one, I think it'll be Girl in the Bubble. And so maybe we say that No Place Like Home is not locked in. Now, number 2 for song is arguably I Lied to You from Sinners. But that is very much not songy, is it?
Yeah.
And actually, Sinners, the team has announced the 2 songs they'll be campaigning. And it's I Lied to You and it's Last Time I Seen the Sun. So everything else is R.I.P. Honestly, maybe I have to have Golden at number 2, though, from K-Pop Demon Hunters, because that is a number 1 freaking smash hit song. And it will chart unlike anything else this year. Ariana Grande's song could compare. We'll see how that goes when the movie comes out. It could be a pretty big hit, but Golden's like the hit of the year. It just is. It's everywhere. In a year where there weren't strong Best Picture contenders in this category, you could easily see that winning song.
I really think when Wicked for Good comes out, people are going to be obsessed with the songs once again, and they'll have the 2 originals on blast, trying fiendishly to memorize every word and every lick of it. I think Golden's gonna win. I feel like it lacks foresight that like Wicked's gonna be sensational again.
Diane Warren has a song called Dear Me in her documentary Relentless, which is about her. Once again, Diane Warren is reserved a slot here. It's very, very competitive this year, but she is reserved a slot. What are the other contenders here? The Anne Lee song. I saw Train Dreams again, and did you know that they added a song to the end credits of the movie?
I did not know that.
It is Nick Cave. I feel that there is a personal connection there that could make a good narrative. And the song is really good, actually. Netflix is going to campaign that. It seems like pundits are catching on to this and they're being told that like it's a thing that they're looking to campaign.
But what we forgot all about is Miley Cyrus's song in Avatar Fire and Ash.
I think you're right about that. And you have like Mark Ronson and the other Barbie songwriter on that one. And the Avatar team is looking and they're saying, oh man, we're not going to get that many nominations this year. Well, here's one that they can get that could be different from the last. You got to look out for this one. It's going to be an end credits song. Zootopia 2, I mean, the first one didn't get in, so I don't care. Highest to lowest. A couple people have a song from F1. All the songs from F1 were boo. None of that, please. And I guess the Materialist song, which is just not happening, fellas. And those are the rest of our Oscar predictions. I don't think much is happening in the next month until early December, which is when the critics groups start coming around. And by the way, the Critics' Choice are really, really early this year, and you'll barely have any precursors for those. You won't even have that high of a tally of critics groups to go off of. You'll have to go off of like the Astras and the Atlanta Film Critics and the New York Film Critics, and that's like it. But in between then, I don't know if we have a lot. Maybe Avatar will premiere. Wicked will come out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
Are you excited for your birthday?